All right, we're doing the 4-3 notes now, and this is a conversation we're going to have about car insurance. We, by law, have to have an insurance policy in order to drive a car. At least liability insurance that if we hit something else, it covers that other car, the other damage. So it may not pay for our own car, but at least we have insurance to cover if we do some damage. So let's go take a peek here at the reading, and then we'll just do a couple examples. Everyone, even responsible drivers, run the risk of injuring themselves. By law, drivers are liable or responsible to pay for those damages. You could be sued for being negligent at fault if you cause an accident. Drivers get insurance, they make claims. Liability insurance is the most important coverage. It's what's required by law, and it's the cheapest. And then there's all these different kinds of liability insurance that we're going to talk about in class today. The more insurances you have, the more expensive it gets, etc. What is the state law on calling the police after a car crash? So picture that you guys just got in an accident. If there are injuries or a death as a result from the accident, you have to call the police. If the accident causes a large amount of damage, so I don't know about 200 or more, here it is, 1,000 or more to an individual's car. So that's kind of up to you and the other driver. You're both going to exchange your insurance information. If the person is being belligerent or difficult in any way, I do think that's another time to call the police. Just make sure you get a hold of the police so that they can be there as an outside resource. When should you call your insurance agent? You do not always need to contact the insurance agent. If you make a claim on your insurance is going to go up. So sometimes people handle it between themselves, like small accidents, they just take care of by paying for the stuff so that they don't have to make an insurance claim that's going to cause your insurance to go up. So you do not always have to call your insurance agent, but most of the time you do. It's done sometimes when you return home, sometimes the next day. It's important that you even call your insurance agent if the other driver was at fault so that they can handle things with that other insurance company. Here's an article I've put for you to go ahead and take a peek regarding insurance. We're going to talk about it today in class. Now we get to the examples. Quan's annual premium is $1,284. If he pays quarterly, there is a $1 per payment surcharge fee, an extra fee if you're paying in installments. So what is the quarterly payment for Quan? So we're going to take $1,284 plus the $4 in surcharge for all those payments. And so that means really we're talking about $1,288. And so we take the $1,288 and divide that by 4. Let's grab my calculator. And I get $322. So the trick on this question is to remember about that $1 surcharge. It just seems kind of dumb, right? Like, what do you mean you're charging me a $1 fee? But that's how these companies are. If you don't pay your insurance flat out, if you're going to pay it in installments, and not all companies allow installments, but if you're with a company that does allow installments, they usually charge a surcharge fee. Why? Even if it's only $1 per payment, they're trying to get you to pay the insurance premium in full. They'd rather you pay every 6 months in full or every year in full if you can. So that's why the surcharge seems kind of silly. Example 2, Stan has $25,000 worth of property damage liability insurance. That's how much he's covered for. He caused an accident that damaged $2,000 fire hydrant and $5,600 worth of damage to the other car. How much must Stan pay? So it's $2,000 for the fire hydrant, $5,600 for the damage to the other car. It's a total of $7,600. Stan has $25,000 in coverage. Since $7,600 is less than the $25,000 limit, he doesn't have to pay anything. Insurance fully covers his accident. Now, does it happen sometimes that the damage that you cause is over your limit? Why, yes, it does. And then sometimes you have to pay. So be prepared. You always want to make sure you have enough insurance coverage. All right, deductibles. One way to make your policy more or less expensive is to play around with your deductible amount. For example, a deductible is the amount that the policyholder must pay before the insurance policy pays its money. The higher the deductible, the lower the premium. Once an owner has paid the deductible amount, the insurance company pays the rest of the cost of the repairs. Collision and comprehensive insurance are sold on a deductible basis. So they cover damage to the policyholder's car, not property damage, other driver's vehicle. If a driver has a $500 deductible and the repairs cost $2,200, the driver pays first $500 and then the insurance pays the balance, or $1,700. So let's do an example with this. Peter has collision insurance with $1,000 deductible. Peter backs his car into a lamppost and causes $4,300 worth of damage. How much does the insurance company have to pay? So $4,300 minus the deductible means $3,300. So Peter pays $1,000 deductible and the insurance pays the balance of $3,300. Does that make sense? So you might be thinking, oh my gosh, $1,000. I don't have $1,000 right now to pay for an accident. So that's when you should really be thinking, if you don't have a lot of cash on hand, maybe you should have a lower deductible. It means the premium for your insurance is going to be more, but you won't have to pay so much out of pocket if you get into an accident. All right, let's look at the difference between bodily injury and property damage. Bodily injury insurance is expressed by two numbers divided by slashes. The first number is the maximum amount per accident to any one person who is hurt. And the second number represents the maximum amount per accident your insurance company will pay in total to all people who make the claim. So sometimes bodily injury and property are combined into a 3-number system with 2 slashes. So you might say the numbers 100, 325 represent that you have 100,000, 300,000, and 25,000 in coverage. So what does the 100 stand for and what does the 300 stand for? If you go back up here, any one person who's hurt, the second number represents the amount max per accident that they're willing to pay total. So it's 100 per person, 300 max that they will pay out. And then the 25 is the property damage. Bob was in an auto accident caused by negligence. He has 100, 300 bodily insurance. These 3 people injured in the accident sued him. One person was awarded $140,000. Each of the other 2 got $75,000. How much does the insurance company pay? So of the 3 people, one of them makes a claim over the 100,000 max per person amount. That means that Bob is liable for that difference. The 75,000 per person for the 2 people who made the claims are fully paid by insurance. Of the 140,000 claim, 100,000 is paid by insurance because that's the max per person, and Bob is responsible for 40,000 from the accident. Ouch, right? 40 grand. All right, example 5. Rodrigo has a policy with 50-150. That's 50,000 in property damage and 50,000 in personal injury. He caused an accident which he hurt 7 people in a minivan and 4 people in his own car, including himself. The total medical bills for all involved equal $53,000. How much does the insurance company pay? And we say insurance will cover all of it because the $53,233 is below the max for all parties of $150. As long as no one person's claim is more than $50,000. So notice it says that this is a total of 7 people. If 7 people had small injuries and one person had a $51,000 injury, it's not going to cover it all because the max per any one person is $50,000. But as long as no one person's claim is more than $50,000, insurance will cover it all. And looking at that total and the fact that it's 7 people, I'm pretty sure that nobody had more than a $50,000 claim. Okay, and that's your last one.